Okay,
Good
start,
evening,
please.
sir. My title is Empowering Smallholder Farmers Through AI-driven and Blockchain System, a study case from Hara Agritech startup in Indonesia. And basically, this is an agritech startup that uses AI and blockchain in managing the data from the small farmers in Indonesia, since Indonesia is one of the biggest exporter for rice, and because Indonesia also located in equatorial belt, they have many great change to grow rice, but one of the biggest problem the small farmers face is digitalization, and they have some difficulties such as having a hard way to get loan, and sometimes they have to sell if a mortgage the land even to get the before they harvest the crops in very low price, because they don't have any digitalized ID, let's say, or certificate of their farms, and they usually gets very disfortunate because of that. Indonesia also, like, because we are so far from digitalizing our documents, such as like birth certificate, ID, everything. 50%, I think most of 50% documents have to be taken care of using by our own documents. So we have to bring it to the bureaucracy. So it's not easy, and it takes a very long time, and that's why a lot of gap happens, and that's why it gives a lot of hard time for us to want to make everything legal. And Hara is basically mean nutrients, soil nutrients. And this is a company that is a sister company from a big data company, which is called DataBot Indonesia. And they make this sister company to help with that problem faced by the small farmers in Indonesia. Even though like Indonesia is very big compared to other 8 equatorial countries such as Vietnam, Bangladesh, Uganda, they have very low productivity in rice other than the other, like to compare based on the population. And that's also why sometimes we still import rice, because a lot of the small farmers, because I think the key is this small farmers, they are not well taken care of by the government, and because also like it's the natural.
Hara,
Yep.
please try to make us understand in a Hara business model. Why don't you jump to 4.3 section? 4.3.
Yep.
Okay, how Hara works?
So I'm just going to show you this. Basically, they have these 4 key partners: the data provider, data buyer, data qualifier, and value-added services. Is it visible? Wait, I'm going to zoom in again.
Yeah.
So data provider are also called as field agent. They work as the data acquiring people so usually the data that will be input to this app is the width of the land, because some farmers didn't know like even how big is their land, and the data provider could use this app to track the width using the GPS in the smartphone, and that data can be collected by Hara, and then that data can be bought by the data buyer. So data buyer is banks, insurance, and also government, enterprises, retailers. They can buy those data easily using this application by using tokens. So actually they also have token system. The token is also already unlisted. It's called HART or Hara token. And this data could also be used to other people, so such as this value-added services, such as academic institutions and credit bureaus and data analytic companies, and they also have to pay for that. And that incentive could be shared by the Hara and also the farmers itself. And the data qualifier will make the data even more higher based on their quality. So they will qualify all of the data, whether the farmers input the data is legitimately saying that this is the data that he input, and then it will make the data even more good in terms of quality. So it's basically the how I can explain they make the money.
Go to 4.2, the challenge.
So that's what I've also been told before. One of the challenge that Indonesia agricultural supply chains is facing is because the lack of cooperation between the stakeholders, which is like government, majorly, and also the reliable information. Because
Wait. Indonesia's low agricultural productivity compared to neighboring countries like Thailand and Vietnam further compounds the problem. But for the foreigners like me, I understand that the reason why Indonesia's low agricultural productivity is, for example, probably the soil, probably. Because as far as I know, Vietnam is a very good soil to grow, rice paddies, okay? But Indonesia is quite very near equatorial area, right? So do you think the equatorial area is very good, appropriate places where any farmers to grow rice paddies?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there are 8 countries. So this is the...
What's the problem? Soil is good. Weather is good. Raindrops are quite sufficient. What's the problem with Indonesia agriculture low productivity?
That's what I also been explained in the earlier, but I need to look it up more. But it's probably because our country is what's the name? Archipelago country. We have 18,000 islands, and every infrastructure is so centralized in Java. So I came from Sumatra, and I also like studied in Jogja. Jogja is in Java, and I can see what's the big differences. And because it's so diverse, we have 5 big islands, but the capital is in Jakarta. Every circulation of the economy always circulating in Java. So you cannot, and there's no subway in Sumatra, there's no subway in Kalimantan. So the biggest island is Kalimantan, Sulawesi, Papua. Papua is also bigger than Java, but everything always circulating in Java. So in terms of supplying those things like rice, for example, it takes a lot of time. So that's why there's a plan for the recent president to move the capital city to the Kalimantan, because Java is already packed. It's too much people there, and I think that's one of the reason why it has this supply chain problem.
Supply chain problem is the greatest reason why Indonesia is suffering from low agricultural productivity?
I think so, and also because we are so far from digitalization.
Okay, so before you finish your presentation, which kind of biggest lesson you have learned from this project?
I think Indonesia is very rich for its sources, but they are very backwards when it comes to digitalizing their data. So one of the reasons why these small farmers are very poor, because they don't know how to apply for loans. They usually go to loan sharks because they don't have any data collected very systematically. Like when I came to Korea, I was so surprised because everything already been digitalized. I go to the insurance, I just need to pay, and when I treat my food, I don't need to even ask.
Yeah, South Korea is one of the leading countries in terms of digitalization.
Yeah,
okay?
And Indonesia is so hard. Everything takes so much time, and I don't know why government is still taking a lot of time to fix this. So that's why a lot of things like this happen because of the startup, and when they get blowed up, and then the government will get the attention. So the government doesn't really think that far. I think because also each government has their own authority. It's different. Like if you go to this island, if you go to the other island, it's different. It's like you have 5 different countries in Indonesia, because everything is so diverse and we are separated by oceans,
Okay.
Yeah, everything is so hard
Okay,
to
understand. Thank you.
Okay.
And next project is Victor. Victor. Okay, start, please.
Okay, so my research paper